Hey everyone, hope you're having an awesome Wednesday. I know I am. Went to the gym, did my morning routine, meditated. If you haven't done the 6 phase meditation, I highly recommend it. Everyone, my name is Curtis Phelan. I've been a results life and business coach for over 25 years. These days, I'm mostly focused on helping other business coaches. My partners and I have a turnkey program for business coaches. But this call is not about that. I'm sorry, this call. This I do a lot of calls, right? This video is me sharing how to achieve your goals, personal development, self help. I've actually been going through some deep dives into material to help us achieve more in life, and I just wanted to share these things with you. And so it's going to be a little bit each day, very short video, but it's to help you. These are things that aren't openly shared. You have to do a lot of research, and some of these things they're not even published. So, yeah. So if you've been following the last couple of days, the main question here revolves around today is understanding how resistance works and the lies that it feeds us to keep us from success, from keep us, as we call, being a drifter instead of a driven person and achieving goals. So I've identified 4 lies that I'd like to discuss today to help you realize how resistance works in your life. So I got some notes here, but lie number 1 is procrastination. So resistance. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, just go watch yesterday's video, right? Yesterday's live. But resistance often it manifests itself as procrastination. It can be other things, but let's talk about number 1 is procrastination. Now, procrastination doesn't outrightly reject our goals, right? It doesn't say we're not going to achieve them. It suggests that we're going to delay them. So I'm going to do it tomorrow, right? We call this the manana principle, right? So where we're constantly pushing tasks off to tomorrow, and then tomorrow becomes tomorrow, right? So it hinders our progress. Or I'll do it later, right? Or I'll do it after this happens, right? So we're just saying we're going to do it, so it gives us that immediate, feeling like we're going to do it, right? I'm going to do it. It's just not right now, this very second. I'm going to do it a little bit later. I'm going to do it tomorrow. I'm going to do it next month or next year, right? Whatever. But really, a lot of times it's just, yeah, I'll do it tomorrow. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it tomorrow. But it doesn't outrightly say no. Best way to overcome that is say, I won't do that thing, right? So if you're not doing it and you say you're going to, well, I'll do it tomorrow, say, you know what? I'm not going to do it. I'm just not going to do that thing. That might get you to rethink, okay? So lie number 2 is what we call the shadow calling, okay? This was coined by Stephen Pressfield. 2 books. I recommended one yesterday, the day before, is The Art of War. Not the War of Art, right? The Art of War. Powerful book on resistance. That's where I learned it initially, resistance. But his other book, Turning Pro, this lie involves pursuing something similar but a safer version of our true calling. So let's say, it allows us to avoid risk and consequences, preventing us from reaching our full potential. And a lot of people do this, and I work with coaches all the time. So, whatever your industry is, you relate it to you. But I talk to a lot of coaches all the time, and if you're a coach on here, this shows up. The shadow calling. It's like, well, I'll give you a perfect example. So, when I started in the coaching industry, I was personally recruited and trained by Tony Robbins, who really made coaching really popular, over the last few decades. And, I shared an office with his son Josh and his ex-wife Becky, and we built his coaching department, from the ground up, basically. We moved it from this little office to a building to a complex, to where it is now. But anyways, so instead of like, if you go through a coach's training or a school or something like that, this would look like, okay, I want my own speaking business, or I want my own coaching business, or I want my own whatever business, right? And instead of you going and doing it yourself, so I'm guilty of this originally, instead of you going and doing that thing yourself, going and selling your own coaching program, is to go work for another person and just coach, but not have any risk, right? If you lose a client, it's not a big deal because they'll give you another client, right? Whereas when you're on your own as a coach and you get a client, the performance is much higher, because if you if you lose a client, that's a big deal, right? You can ruin your reputation. You can, your income, obviously, it affects. But it's just you play at a higher level when you know that you have to perform, you have to create results on every call, or it could be, it could change things in your life. There's a risk, right? Plus, you're investing money in your own leads, you're investing time and getting your own customers, your own clients, right? So there's a risk involved. Starting your own business, investing money, there's a risk involved, right? Um, Alternatively, maybe it's you keep reading and studying on something, but you never take the risk. You never take the leap. That thing that you actually want to do, that calling, you feel like you're doing work around it, but you're not actually doing the thing. If that makes sense. Okay, so that's line number two. I'm trying to keep these short, under 15 minutes, so that I can share them in other places because, like LinkedIn, they don't let you go over 15 minutes. That's where most of my clients are. But line number three is pleasure, not fulfillment. So giving you the pleasure, but not giving you the fulfillment. So this is driven by dopamine. Okay, this lie offers immediate pleasure without fulfillment of the actual work that it creates. So it could be something that gives you that dopamine hit right now, but you don't actually get the pleasure. So I know these are bad examples, but if you want to be in a relationship, instead of being in a relationship, maybe you go watch porn, right, or something like that. I'm trying to think of some other ones, but things that give you an immediate dopamine hit, but don't give you the fulfillment, the actual end result, the thing that you want. Going on a perfect one is the phone, right? So going on your phone, you want to be social, you're feeling lonely, right? So you go on TikTok, you go on Facebook, whatever, and you kind of watch some videos of some people, so you feel like you were connected to them and you're connected, but you really didn't develop that relationship, right? Anyways, enough on that. So it's kind of like a cycle that we get. It creates like this cycle where we crave the reward without putting in the necessary effort, okay, which leads to a weaker form of the thing that you want. Okay, so and we get addicted to that. Lie number four is full sedation. Okay, this is a big one. This is the most extreme form of resistance. It involves people numbing themselves with substances or behaviors to escape the pain. Okay, this is serious, right? So it creates addictions, right? So it's basically things like drinking too much alcohol. Like we want to we're not feeling good about ourselves or our lives or something like that, so we go drink too much, or we do drugs or something like that, and then that thing takes over. It's full sedation, right? It takes over your life. It keeps you from taking any steps, right, that are essential in you overcoming the resistance and achieving your true goals. So it could be food. It doesn't have to be drugs or alcohol, right? It could be food, whatever, right? It's different for everybody. But look at these things in your life. Like where are you sedating yourself? Where are you getting pleasure but not fulfillment? What's that shadow calling? What's that thing? The perfect example that Russell Brunson, when I was watching this video earlier today, was like if you're a writer, right? So instead of writing your own books, you become a ghostwriter, so you have no risk if somebody doesn't like the book, right? They don't know who wrote it. Something like that. You can think of some other examples, but I wanted to keep this short. I hope this starts to help you understand where resistance shows up in your life. I would think about that. Look at how resistance shows up in your life. And then tomorrow we're going to actually talk about how to overcome resistance. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate you all. And you make it an awesome and blessed day. Bye-bye now.